Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Unlock English podcast. I am Alex.
And I am Julia. It is so good to be here with you again. We are recording this in the evening. The sun is going down outside, and it is the perfect time to relax and learn some English together.
Yes, it feels really cozy right now. So how are you feeling today, Julia? Ready to dive into some English?
I am feeling great, actually. A little tired, but very happy. And I am really ready to teach because today's topic is small but super powerful. We are talking about the word can.
Exactly. Can is everywhere in English. We use it all day without even noticing. Today, we'll look at can for three big things: ability, permission, and requests. By the end of this episode, you will be able to use can more naturally and more confidently.
And do not worry, we will keep it slow, clear, and friendly so you can really follow along and practice with us.
All right, ready to get started?
Let's go.
Part 1. Can for ability. Okay, Julia, before we talk about permission and requests, let's begin with the most basic use of can. Talking about ability.
Oh yes, this one is super important. We use it when we talk about what people are able to do, their skills, talents, and the things they know how to do.
Exactly. So if you want to say what you are able to do, you use can. The pattern is very simple. Subject, then can, then the base verb.
Let's make it real. Alex, what can you do?
Good question. I can speak English, I can record podcasts, and I can bake really good brownies.
Oh, brownies. That's dangerous information. Now I'm going to ask you for brownies all the time.
Be careful what you wish for. What about you, Julia? What can you do?
I can speak Spanish, I can draw a little, and I can stay awake very late to watch TV series.
That's a useful skill. Night owl power.
Listeners, now think about yourself. What can you do? You can talk about sports, music, school, work, or everyday life.
For example, you might say, I can play volleyball. I can read fast. I can use a smartphone very well.
See? Very simple, very natural. Just subject plus can plus verb.
Now let's look at the negative form when we talk about something we are not able to do.
Right. When you want to say you do not have that ability, you use cannot or can't.
For example, I cannot ski. I cannot sing in tune. I cannot eat seafood.
That last one is really me. I cannot eat seafood. I wish I could, but I can't.
And here's something very important for learners. We say cannot, not don't can, and not no can.
Exactly. I cannot swim, not I do not can swim. Just can't. Short and correct.
Let's ask each other something. Julia, can you play the drums?
I can hit the drums, but I cannot play them well.
Same here. I cannot play the drums at all.
Listeners, now it's your turn. Answer these questions out loud, even if you're alone. Can you cook? Can you ride a bike? Can you speak another language?
Take a second. Actually say your answers out loud. I can or I cannot. This is how your speaking gets better, by moving your mouth, not just listening. Part 2. Can for permission. All right, Julia, let's move on to something you absolutely need in daily life. Asking for permission.
Yes, I love this part. Permission is everywhere. At home, in the library, on the bus, at the gym. All the time we need to ask, is it okay if I do this?
Let's imagine a situation. We're sitting in a quiet library right now. I see a free seat next to you and I want to sit there. What could I say?
You could say, can I sit here?
Exactly. That's using can to ask for permission. Very small word, very useful. So the pattern is can plus subject plus verb. For example, Can I leave my bag here? Can we use this table?
And the answer is also simple. If it's okay, you say, yes, you can. If it's not okay, you say, no, you cannot.
Imagine I see your notebook in the library and I want to use it. What do I ask?
You say, can I borrow your notebook?
Perfect. And I answer, yes, you can, but please give it back before you go home.
It's Saturday evening, we're at a friend's house, and there's a guitar in the corner. I want to play it. What do I ask?
You could say, can I play your guitar?
Exactly, and the friend can answer, yes, you can, or no, you cannot, it's broken.
Listeners, now you try. Think of one thing you often need permission for. Using someone's charger, opening a window, using someone's phone, sitting in a seat.
Now make a sentence with can to ask for permission. For example, can I use your charger? Can we close the window?
Write your sentence in the comments. We really do read them.
And here's a small extra tip. If you want to sound a bit more formal or very polite, you can also use may.
For example, may I come in? Or may I ask you a question? It sounds very polite, maybe something you hear at school or in a meeting.
But with friends, family, or classmates, can is totally fine. Quick, natural, everyday English.
Let's play a tiny game. I give a situation and you ask for permission using can. Ready, Julia?
Ready.
Situation 1. You are in the school library. You want to use my laptop for 5 minutes.
Can I use your laptop for 5 minutes?
Situation 2. You and your friends are in the study room and you want to play some soft music.
Can we play some music?
Nice. Listeners, now you try. Think of one real situation from your life and make a can I or can we question.
So, quick review for permission. To ask, can plus subject plus verb. To answer, yes, you can, or no, you cannot. For more formal situations, you can use may instead of can.
And remember, a polite voice always helps.
Part 3. Can for requests. Okay, Alex, now let us talk about another super practical use of can, making requests.
Yes, we use this all the time. Can you help me? Can you send me the link? Can you close the window?
When we make a request, we are asking someone to do something for us in a polite, friendly way.
The pattern here is can plus you plus verb. And if you want extra politeness, add please at the beginning or end.
For example, can you help me, please? Can you carry this bag for me, please?
Let's give some real-life examples. Imagine we're in a shared study room in the evening and it's getting cold.
I might say, can you close the window, please?
Exactly. Or at dinner time, can you pass me the water, please?
Or when you're learning English, can you explain this word to me, please?
These all sound polite and natural, and notice that please really changes the feeling.
Listen carefully. Can you move your bag? That's a bit strong. Can you move your bag, please? That's much softer, more friendly.
Same words, different tone. Your voice is very important.
Here are 3 quick tips for making good requests with can. 1. Add please. It makes your request sound kind and respectful. 2. Use a friendly tone. Try to sound calm, not angry. 3. Be specific. Say exactly what you need. For example, can you pass me the blue notebook, please? Is clearer than can you pass me that, please?
I like that. Simple, polite, specific.
Listeners, now it's your turn. Write one request with can in the comments. Can you tell me a joke, please? Can you speak more slowly, please? Part 4. Common mistakes with can. All right, Alex, we have learned a lot of good things, but I think we should also talk about some common mistakes with can.
Yes, this part is really important. If you avoid these little mistakes, your English will sound much more natural.
Okay, mistake number 1, using can but sounding too strong or even a bit rude.
Yeah, for example, listen to this. Can you give me your phone?
Ouch, that sounds more like a command, not a polite request.
Exactly, same grammar, but the tone is too hard. In real life, people pay attention to your voice, not only your words.
So how do we fix it? Add please and soften your tone. For example, can you give me your phone, please?
Much better. Friendly, not scary.
Mistake number 2, using the wrong negative form. Some learners say things like, I no can or I do not can, which sounds very strange in English.
I've heard that too, but the correct negative is cannot or can't.
For example, I cannot dance. He cannot drive. We cannot stay late.
Not I do not can dance, just I cannot dance.
All right, what about mistake number 3?
Mistake number 3 is using can for future situations when we usually need a different form.
Right. Some learners say, I can go to the party tomorrow. And sometimes it's okay, but often it sounds better to say, I will be able to.
Yes, for talking clearly about future ability, we often use will be able to.
For example, not, I can finish the report tomorrow. Better, I will be able to finish the report tomorrow.
Another one, not she can meet us next Friday, but she will be able to meet us next Friday.
Solution 1, add please and use a friendly voice. Solution 2, use cannot or can't. Solution 3, use will be able to for clear future meaning. Part 5, listen, choose, and speak. This is the part where you stop listening quietly and start speaking with us.
Situation 1. You're talking about a skill you have. You know how to play the violin. Which sentence is better? I play the violin or I can play the violin?
The better choice is B. I can play the violin.
Situation 2. You're in a quiet library and you want someone to open the window politely. Can you open the window, please?
Repeat after us. She can use my tablet. They can draw very well. Can you help me with my homework, please?
English is not about being perfect. It's about being more comfortable every day.
So relax, breathe, and keep speaking with us. You're doing really well.
Wow, Julia, this was a really full episode. We talked about so many things using just one little word.
I know, can is short, but it can do a lot.
Today, we used can in 3 main ways. First, for ability, what you can do and what you cannot do.
Things like, I can swim, I cannot drive, I can play the violin, or I can speak English. Real, everyday abilities.
Second, we used can to ask for and give permission in a simple, friendly way.
For example, can I sit here? Can we use this table? Yes, you can. No, you cannot. This is how you survive in libraries, cafes, classrooms, everywhere.
And third, we used can to make polite requests.
Like, can you open the window, please? Can you help me with this exercise, please? Can you pass me the water, please? Very practical, very real life.
We also talked about some common mistakes, using a strong or unfriendly tone, saying, I know can, or using can for future situations instead of will be able to.
And you practiced choosing the best sentence in different situations and speaking with us out loud.
Now, before we finish, we have a gentle question for you. What is one thing you can do now in English that you could not do before?
It can be something small. Maybe now you can understand simple podcasts. Maybe you can introduce yourself more confidently. Maybe you can ask for help in English.
Take a moment and think about it. If you would like, share your answer in the comments. We really enjoy reading what you write. It shows us how you are growing.
And remember, you are not alone. We are learning and practicing with you. Step by step is enough.
If you're enjoying the Unlock English podcast, do not forget to give this episode a like. It helps our podcast grow and helps other learners find us.
And if you know someone who is also trying to improve their English, feel free to share this episode with them. Learning together is always easier and a lot more fun.
Don't be shy. Leave us a comment and tell us how you feel today or what topic you want us to talk about next time.
And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Unlock English podcast so you don't miss new episodes that help you practice real conversations and feel more confident speaking.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We really appreciate you.
You're doing great. Keep going little by little.
All right, everyone. That's it for today's episode of the Unlock English podcast.
Take care, keep practicing, and we'll talk to you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.